videos brought forth to share this. But here at this site, Joseph Smith came with David Patton, and they said, "We found the cannon in a strange way. The journals record the Lord was with us." The Missouri militia had buried the cannon in the middle of the road, covered it with corn and straw. An old sow, pig, uncovered it, nuzzled it up, the butt of the cannon, and the Mormons found the cannon and the cannon balls and hauled everything away. A record, sworn affidavit before a judge the next day, says that 2 miles this way, at the Livingston County line, Marcus White claimed that the Mormons had stolen log chains, his honeycomb, smashed his beehives. That very night that they took the cannon to Adirondack and they shot it off, and Joseph Smith gave a rousing speech. Marcus White records, the Mormons record, "We had a great feast of honeycomb. The Lord blessed us." Interesting to look at two perspectives. Marcus White said they stole and smashed my beehives and stole my honey. I think that's a paraphrase. And the Mormons' records say that the Lord blessed us. We had a great feast of honeycomb. We provoked the people, and it's a very sad episode. We felt justified. We felt acted upon. Nobody felt like they could get justice. The LDS people did not feel they could get justice, nor did the non-Mormons, nor did the Missourians feel they could get justice under the Mormon law, because everybody had an agenda and everybody was playing to their fellow friends and their acquaintances and those of their persuasion. So anyway, so this was an interesting sight. I hate to bring this evidence forward, but this is the site where the old sow cannon was taken, and this was the beginning of the end. This was October 21st. 9 days later, the militia from this county who had the cannon taken from them attacked Hauns Mill, which is approximately 16, 17 miles as a crow flies back this way. The records of the church and the records of the descendants say that Joseph Smith and David Patton and Hiram stood over here on top of this hill, which I'll show you now. Right there, and they said we could see the Methodist campground, which was where the cannon was buried, and this is the site where they stood, and they looked over down the hill here on the other site, and they said we could see the camp, and the camp was vacated. So now the records of the non-Mormons say that the Mormons took 9 prisoners. One of the prisoners happened to be Jonathan J. Dryden. Jonathan J. Dryden went to the governor, told him of a lot of the happenings, and the governor gave him the extermination order, which he was running to General Clark. On his way, he stopped at Woolsey Farm, which is at the junction of the Caldwell-Livingston County line, and he gave the extermination order, in my opinion, to William Jennings. A lot of people say that it was an unprovoked attack. There were 19 days that a militia was called into force here in Livingston County, and it was later rescinded. And but those 19 days, they call those the Mormon Wars. But Jonathan J. Dryden, in my opinion, did deliver the extermination order to William Jennings there at Woolsey Farm at the junction of the Livingston County line at Highway 36 on the northeast corner of the old Highway 36 and Caldwell-Livingston County line. That was the site that they could watch the passage of the saints from Davies County, Adirondack, over to far west, Hauns Mill. That was the northern route. The southern route was down toward Don, where Josiah Whitney lived. As Josiah Whitney would have the saints cross the bridge there in Don, Missouri, he would require that the Mormons surrender their weapons. Wouldn't let them pass, kind of like the old troll. But Josiah Whitney also participated in the Hauns Mill massacre against the Mormons. So the non-Mormons claimed that there were 9 prisoners taken the day they took the cannon. They made them swear oaths not to take up arms against the saints. Alex Baugh from Brigham Young University emailed me, and he said there is no connection between the taking of the cannon by the Mormons and the Hauns Mill massacre. I didn't know. Found a record in the 1886 Caldwell County history which states Ira Glaze was in the blacksmith shop, and he's the very one, that was Joseph Smith's record, he was the very one who was taken prisoner here 9 days previously, made to ride the cannon, took an oath not to take up arms against the Saints. However, 9 days later, he was in the blacksmith shop. He killed Sardius Smith, blew his head off, the little 10-year-old boy. Very sad. Very sad. Anyways, this is not a pleasant episode, but we need to have peace and harmony and healing here in Missouri. And there's still a lot of ignorance, and that I will show you. There will be a documentary that Kenny Ballantyne is making here this spring that will bring all these things and put them in a perspective that probably is a little more fair and balanced. I graduated from Brigham Young University. I served a mission. But I read all the Mormon history. I never knew the opposing side. I never understood it until these records were brought forth, until I found these things in the histories and the libraries tucked away. They've been hidden for years and decades, 170 years almost. So this is the site. This is where it all began, October 21st, 1990. Beginning of the end for us here in Missouri, which was very sad. It wasn't the only thing that broke the camel's back. This was the big one. The Livingston County history states that they stole our cannon, we attacked Hauns. Daniel Ashby on Christmas Eve, December 24th, 1888, said we had every right to attack them. My assumption is that they thought the extermination order was valid and that they could do as they saw fit, which they did, regretfully and illegally in my opinion. However, the deed was done, blood had been spilled, the Saints were ejected from the state, and Missouri to this day still has many myths and many untruths. These stories have grown legs, and they're larger than life now. But we need to put these things to bed to get on with business and grow and progress and get along with the Missourians, get along with all people, love all people the way we should, and understand them. We don't have to believe their perspective, but we need to learn to understand. That's the hardest thing, is to sit still. It's not comfortable, but it will bring about the result that we desire if we do it the right way, either in the long term or the short term. The reason I bring these things forward is hopefully we can do it in the short term, not in the history. This is part number 1.